I'm sorry I missed you more at Sam's Club.
Yeah, that would have been so fun to see you.
You were both there?
At the same time, I think.
I would have yelled,
Are you bartending
Lara!
there too?
No, I'm not bartending there yet. No. Oh, look at my shirt this time.
Do you see what I have on today, though?
You've got your non-rev.
You have it too?
There we go.
Look at us.
Now there's 3. And then
We're like
there
a
were 3.
gang. We're sorry.
Hey, Tyler, where's your Next Trip podcast shirt?
In my closet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't listened this week. Have you listened this week?
Not this week yet. Not yet.
Have you listened this year, Monique?
Have I listened this year?
Yeah.
Have you listened to the Next Trip podcast at all this year, Momo?
You have to cut this out because I honestly don't think I've listened.
That's fair.
She doesn't listen to our episodes, so why would she listen to theirs? That's okay.
And honestly, to be fair, I don't listen to any podcast right now. I don't do any murder, cult, nothing.
I just finished a really good murder one, Monique, on Dateline. It was called Murder in the Moonlight.
Oh.
Did they play the song? Murder in the moonlight.
No.
Everybody feeling.
I don't think that's the song.
I don't believe that's the song.
But now I'm
Okay.
trying to think what the real words are. Dancing in the moonlight.
Same thing.
I
All right. Ready?
think that's my one
Welcome
again.
to the non-rep.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
All standby passengers, see me at the podium with your seat assignment.
Non-Rev Lounge is a travel and aviation podcast. Monique, Lara, and Tyler are 3 friends that work for a major airline as gate agent, flight attendant, and ramp worker. During this podcast, they will discuss using their flight benefits to travel the world, as well as talk about things that happen at work. They have guests on almost every week to share their travels and stories, leaving tips on the best places to travel or things to do. Enjoy!
Welcome to our lounge. I'm Tyler.
I'm Monique.
I'm Lara.
And we are delayed.
A little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
To all of our people that listened day of, we apologize. We had a show recorded and
And it was a really
something
good
happened with
show.
the audio.
It was a really good show.
Yeah, we recorded one that we were going to put out, and I started editing it, and I was like, the internet or something with our connection was just didn't work out. It didn't save quite. So, yeah, it was really good, though. We need to have John on again and do it where we can have him share his stories, because he told some cool stories about traveling to North Korea and through Russia. That was pretty amazing. Plus all of his just background stuff.
Yes, and he did a Zed primer that we talked about for people who are, scared to do. He's got a really good primer out there to teach you how to Zed on other airlines. We will have him on again. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll get it set. But so, yeah, we didn't get that. We're actually recording hours after we usually put it out. So it's Tuesday afternoon now. How you guys been?
Good.
Happy late Mother's Day to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How was your Mother's Day?
I had a good Mother's Day. I went for Mexican food.
Ooh.
How about you, Momo?
Yeah. It was good. Yeah, just pretty chill, and then trying to fly back from Chicago. So, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Because you were in Chicago for Zach's graduation.
We were, yeah.
So we had Zach on. How long has it been now? Under a year?
I
Like
think
last fall?
Before he went to school, back to school.
Was it that long? I'm trying to think, because did we talk about Paris with him?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it goes after
And
that. So it seemed like it was after the reunion last year. Like there's
Okay.
sometime last that. But yeah, so we had Zach on, and he graduated from his college, and that he played football at, and finished his schooling in Chicago. So how was that? Just anything from that?
Yeah, I know it was really awesome. He's worked his hiney off, and he actually graduated in December, but his college only does one walking graduation a year, and his girlfriend Natalie was graduating right now, so they both walked together, and it was really nice. It was colder than we thought it was going to be, but yeah. So we flew out, took the red eye. So our oldest, because she doesn't have benefits anymore, we bought her a ticket going because we just knew, let's just get her there. And then we went through San Diego and then met up in Chicago.
So you
But
went from
Allie Joe's-
Phoenix to San Diego, and then how much time did you sit
like just enough time to use the restroom. It was the same aircraft.
Oh, I love that. Okay, then you went on to O'Hare.
Yes. And so Allie Jo had to fly by herself. And she's kind of a nervous flyer. So when she got
How
off,
did she do?
she did great. She did awesome.
Good.
But
What airline did she fly on? Would you buy a ticket on?
on ours, because we were going to
Okay.
try to non-rev on that same flight with her.
Oh, okay.
But when it went down to 0 seats, I was like, no, like let's just get there. We can meet up with her. But we landed about 20 minutes before her. So we just sat at her gate and waited. And
Oh,
then we
perfect.
clapped for her when she came off and she walked right past us. She did not like that. But we were proud of her. And
That's a
then
big step for her, though.
it is. Yeah, she did great. And because of, I had her check in pretty much at the 24-hour mark. She got an aisle seat,
Oh, good.
not having to pay for it. So yeah, it worked out good.
And then you guys it looked like it was really sunny. That's funny you said it was cold because it looked nice and sunny.
It was, but the thing is, so Zach's college is just north of Chicago, kind of right on the lake area. So you get kind of that lake effect and it can be pretty cold. But so out there, he works for these like land reserve and he was so excited to show us all around. So he took us on a hike the first day we got there and was so excited to show us the different trees and all the work he does there. And so that was pretty fun.
Well, he does have a degree in environmental studies.
He does. Yep.
So good for him.
This time of year, Chicago could be 35 or 85.
Well, and I'd been talking to our coworkers and they were like, if it's 70 and like sunny, you're going to be great. And it actually was less than that. It was closer to 60. So I think that with a breeze, but
Yeah.
it was nice. We went out, we got we did Shake Shack for lunch, which was fun. Did a little shopping to make sure we could have warm clothes for the graduation. And then Zach actually has 2 jobs. So he works for the preservatory and then he also works at a really nice hotel called Deer Path right there in Lake Forest. Like it's pretty schwanky, like ambassadors like even stay there. Like I think they
Oh.
had an ambassador for Japan stay there when he's been there. So he had set up a nice reservation for us to all have a nice dinner. So we all got dressed up and went over to his hotel the night before graduation and just, had cocktails before, sat down, ate. It was a very nice night. And you could just see everyone at Deer Path loved him. Like everyone was like, hey, Zach, good to see you. Nice to meet your family. And everyone was like, we love him. And we're like, we do too. But it was a nice night.
Do you remember what you ate there?
For appetizer, I got sushi and it was really good. And then I did a shrimp basil, which one of his coworkers had recommended.
Oh, yeah.
But we decided on the drinks. There was a gin and tonic that I got that had a bunch of fruit and like flowers in it. It was beautiful. And then the Paloma, though, was the best tasting drink.
Oh, the Paloma. Yeah. Oh, good. Good.
You mentioned how much the trip reminded you how much you love buddy passes.
No. So on the way back, I kind of looked in earlier, every flight during the day looked great. So I was like, we shouldn't have an issue getting a buddy pass out. But the time that we were looking at leaving and matching up with Jeremiah and Lois and their flight, our flight was not great. So, of course, we're the first, me, Tanya, and Hayden are all the first on the list to get seats. But when you go down the list and then you finally get to a D3, it's not
It's low,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. But the
But
agent
everyone got on
luckily,
though, right?
the second flight, yeah. So the first
Okay.
one, she was pretty good. She called us up and she goes, I have one seat. Are you guys wanting to split or whatnot? And I said, if you can work your list, just put us like literally under that D3. Because then if she can get a seat, that's what we're sending anyway. And she got it. She was great.
Oh, that
But none
she
of us
did
got
that?
seats.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people you try to explain that to and it just goes, like it doesn't make any sense to them. But no, she was like, okay, I got you. And I was like, perfect.
Nice. Good weekend though. Good Mother's Day weekend. Got to see the graduation and be together as family.
Yeah. And then, so then he walked on Saturday and that was really nice. It was fun to see him. You could see as he walked, he was so excited holding his little diploma. And then he came around the corner and Tani was there and he kind of ran to her and gave her a hug. Yeah, it was just a good chill day. And then got up the next morning. We got bagels and chilled and then headed to the airport.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Tyler, you had a little bit of a problem coming home from Salt Lake.
Yeah, we went up to Salt Lake to see both because Katie's mom is up
Whoa.
there and our mom is up there. And so we decided to go up and surprise them and see them both over the weekend for Mother's Day.
Were
It
they
was a
surprised?
surprise?
Her mom wasn't because her dad had been in the hospital, so she couldn't
Oh.
coordinate with him. He had his knee replaced, so he's doing okay. He's just dealing with that. But our mom was to a point. She's hard to surprise because she plans out every minute.
That's true.
And then we end up going, and after Saturday, we went up to her house a little earlier than Sunday, like we were planning. And so it was still good, though. It was good to have her, and our sister came down. So we all had a nice time with them. So it was good. Coming back was just the flight had went from like 32 open when we checked in to 3 open an hour before.
Jeez.
Because we had a super delayed flight that they just pushed everyone through Phoenix instead of on the nonstop to Dallas. And so every time I checked, it was getting lower. But luckily, I knew that Southwest had one about 2 hours later that still had quite a few seats. It made it tough because that means we got home at 11:30 at night, and I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to go to work. And so, like, if I didn't get on that flight, I couldn't even drive to Phoenix quick enough to get to work.
Oh, wow.
So
That's pushing it.
But I was using a lot of credits going through about every hour, just like double checking that Southwest one and looking to make sure it wasn't going to delay or cancel so that worked out. I'm just cheap. I don't want to spend $140 to fly us when we could fly for free.
Well, here's what I'll tell you though. Now with Ally Jo being a D3, I would almost give anything to have Zed privileges again.
Back, yeah.
Yeah,
those are so nice, yeah.
I will pay the $43 from Chicago if that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take that.
And
it was nice though. I mean,
I just stayed home.
You
It was nice.
said you had Mexican food.
I know. Anyway, it was nice. It was nice. You got to see both. I explained it to Tyler that was a twofer. They got to see both moms. That's a twofer.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys at least bust out the margarita machine, Lara?
Yes, he did. On Saturday night, he pulled out the margarita machine, the small one. It was fun. You know,
Okay.
did I tell you we tried sangria in it, and that works too? We need.
Oh,
Coke.
really?
Yeah, but when we poured Coke in it, Coke, believe it or not, Coke does not have enough sugar to make it free. So
Regular Coke?
So you have to add sugar to it. And I'm like, man,
Oh, wow.
to freeze it enough for the machine. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, you could now do, what's it called when they do the sangria and is it margarita mix?
Swirlies.
Yeah,
With the
you could do
swirly.
those now.
You swirly.
I have a question for you, Monique.
Okay.
So, because it's for Lara, but I want to see if you are on the same page as me.
Okay.
Whenever you see flight attendants that are coming back, they're home, they're in the home base, like they're back to Phoenix, and they're all walking out together, and then they end up splitting, going different wherever they parked, whatever. What do they always say to each other?
Oh,
I don't know if I even see them. I don't know if I see that interaction.
Like as you're walking out of just yourself out to the car, you don't ever see them.
you've
you know what
walked
it is,
out
Lara?
with me before, Monique?
With you, but I think I don't think you say anything to me. What do you?
Say, Lara?
It
Always.
was fun flying with you.
So what if it wasn't fun?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How often do you lie when you say that? Like, how often do you say that, but you don't mean it?
Well, I won't wait for them if it's someone I don't like. I just keep walking. I get off the plane, wait, and just keep walking.
So if someone's flying with you and you just walk away, they know, oh, that was not great.
Well, if they thought about it, they probably don't care either, though. They've done something that shows me that they don't care. But they all say the same thing. It was fun flying with you.
That's funny. Actually, you know what? As gate agents, if you have a partner, after the plane pushes is when you guys can like both walk away. And I would say 95% of the time you do go, well, it was nice working with you.
See, same
We
thing.
do it too. It is the same thing. But there are some that I just go, okay, bye. And then I walk away because I'm done.
One
And it
time,
wasn't nice.
Monique was working a flight and she was by herself and I was over there talking to her and this girl showed up. Oh, her name was Laura too. Also, Laura with the silvery blonde hair.
Oh, yeah, do her.
Yeah, she's so nice. And so anyway, so she was putting away her stuff and I said, Monique this flight's kind of crazy. Monique's driving her crazy. And she goes, well, I'm not supposed to be here, but I came early because I saw it was Monique. And I thought, oh, she's going to need some help. So I came early. Isn't that cute? She
Just
likes
one
you so much.
Well,
Yeah, but I was waiting for the train last night, and I think it was the Southwest crew, and they were all saying goodbye. Like they were having this big. It was so good to be with you, and I was like, I've never been working with someone and been like so emotional about leaving after working a shift. Or I'll say goodbye to my close friends, but most of the time I'm like, we're done. Like, peace out. Like I'm moving to the next flight or the break room or whatever. So, but I started thinking, is it fake or is it real? Like, how often do you guys fake it? Because you kind of have to say, as it's just known that you always say, it was so good.
Usually it's real unless, well, I think it's usually real. And you've been with me a lot, Tyler, saying, because you've been waiting for me when we get off the airplane and you walk with me.
But you'll always say, "Oh, it was so good to see you," and then you'll walk with me, and you'll be like, "This lady did this, and she slept with this person, and she
Okay,
did
that
this."
is all true. That is all true.
Doesn't mean she didn't have a great time with her.
It doesn't mean I had a good
Oh,
time. I
that-
just
that's
wanted
true,
you to
yeah.
know her background. She had that terrible STD. I didn't know you could get fungus anywhere.
Well, do you think my coworker Lara showed up to help me because she wanted to work with me, or because she thought I'm a terrible agent and I needed help?
No, because she likes you and she wanted to work with you. That's why. That's
It's
the impression.
A twofer.
Yeah, it's a twofer. She was cute.
So, okay,
Oh no, what were you
Go
going
ahead.
to say? I was Laura. I think I pissed off some of your friends the other day
Okay.
because I feel like I recognize these two flight attendants, but they must have just transferred to Dallas recently because I could have swore they either did London or I've seen them around.
Oh,
But-
a lot of people did.
But they were the last ones to get seat assignments on a flight to Dallas. And the onboard crew had already told us like 30 passengers before they had no more bin space. So when these guys were getting their seats as just regular non-revs, not deadheading, nothing like that. They
Yeah.
just were like D2s.
Uh-huh.
We told them we're going to have to check their bags. And they're like, I can't check my bag. And we were like, well, when you're not in the jump seat, you got a regular seat. So, and you're not like commute, like there's no reason like, and they're like, well, we're going to work. So if you're going to check it, I'm not going. And I was like, I don't know. It's tough with commuters for me because part of me is like, you chose to live off base. You're choosing to go this close to your departure time and not planning on, she could have said, put me in the jump. And then I would have had no reason to not put a pink tag on her bag and valet it for her.
Yeah.
But in a regular seat, she's just like a regular non-rev. So anyway, they were not happy with us.
So what ended up happening? Please tell me you checked it.
I think they just took him on. I think they were like, the crew will fight space for him. And it wasn't worth fighting with them at that point anymore. But
Yeah, they'll shove them
Well-
in that closet.
also, one of the flight attendants that was leaving, she wanted to do a last leg where they swap with
Last
one
leg.
of the non-revs,
Yeah, last leg swap, live swap.
which is a gate agent to me is like a pain in the butt. I don't want to have to play your secretary. But I had said, I will page up the standby jump seaters and see if, they can work anything out with you. I paged like 2 or 3 times and these ladies never came up to even answer me. So part of me was like, you didn't help them out down there. You really think they're going to help you with your bags? But I mean, I guess they did.
Oh, that's right. Because they wanted to swap with them and they said no.
Yeah. And it probably would have went into her duty time, assuming though, because if she's then taking a flight out of Dallas, because she said she was working when she got there, I don't know if she even could, but she didn't even acknowledge to come up and have a conversation about it, which I thought was kind of rude because I'd seen them sitting over there the whole flight.
Yeah, that is kind of rude. That's rude.
But-
Wow.
Drama. Flight
If someone
attendants.
if someone asked me, I would do it. I would do the last live swap for them. Because it's karma and it'll come back for you. So Monique, tell me about that passenger you had it on yesterday. Was it yesterday? Did he recognize you?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of funny. I was working a flight to Chicago and we were boarding our priority lane and there was a gentleman standing up in the main lane getting ready to board with group 5. And I was talking to my partner about something. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, you do that podcast or you do the podcast or something. And I was like, I do. And so I was thinking, oh, he must be a non-rev. So I started chatting with him. He goes, you guys are so funny. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I said, you work for the airlines or an airline? And he goes, no, I just listen to you guys. I've been listening since the beginning. He was like, "Oh
Oh,
my gosh, thank you so much." He was very nice.
that's so cool. He didn't say
Yeah.
like Tyler was funny, right?
No,
He's meant me, right?
he said you guys, I believe. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
I'm the guy. So.
generic term for a group of people.
That's funny.
But well, so thank you, Mike, for saying hi.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
fun.
it was nice to meet you.
Yes, it's nice to. It gives what we do to put this together. It helps out. So thank you for saying that to Monique. Even though I'm sure you're talking about me. But
Well, I did tell him, I
have
said,
a-
he goes, I thought I recognized your voice. And I said, well, if I would have went, hi, I said, would that would have done it? And he laughed. So I think it was me that's funny.
Yeah, you are funny sometimes. Lara, if you were working my flight and I had my youngest daughter with me and you came through, would you tell me to make sure I put my mask on first, or would you just assume that I know I'm going to take care of myself first?
Because it's
Would
you.
you tell me that, or yeah, because you know that I'm going to take care of myself first. You don't have to tell me.
Well, I'm going to assume that you listened to the safety demonstration and it says, please put your mask on first, then assist. So I would.
Yeah, so you wouldn't even bother with me. You'd just be like,
No, did someone give you an additional
this
safety?
guy. Yeah, when I was flying Southwest, the lady came up and said, make sure, and I was like, you don't know me at all, do you? Because I'm definitely taking care of myself before I take care of this kid. So I was like,
Did she really come up and say
was
that to
wondering,
you?
yeah.
That's pretty cool, I guess. You know?
yeah, I think they go through, and because it was me and Lola and then another guy. And so she was like, who's the kid with? Because I guess she didn't think that me and the guy were a couple. So I was like, she's mine. So
Oh. Well, there's a Southwest flight attendant that I'm friends with, and she's in my ballet class. And she stopped after ballet to talk to me. She goes, big changes are happening over there. Like, and they're really all worked up about it. I guess they used to take trips and they used to be able to split up the trip. And it sounds like the flight attendants were able to split them up and, and kind of share the trip, but now they're not allowed to. So like they have, like, you know what a turn day is when you leave Phoenix and you fly to Chicago and then you come back to Phoenix, you're done. That's a turn. Because you start and stop the same place. Well, they don't have very many turns out of Phoenix, but they take those trips and they split them all up. So then it makes turns. And so a lot of senior people really like those turns. They want to come home every night. So she's been doing those turns for all these years. And then she said to me, now that they changed the whole ways, you're not allowed to split them up anymore. There were only 4 turns in the bid every day. There's only 4 instead of like for instance, we probably have 12 or 13 and they have 4 a day. And then you know how they were as flight attendants, they are allowed to drop their schedule. So they get their schedule every month and they can drop to 0. They can actually literally take every single trip and put it on the trade board. And if it goes, it goes. They're not working. They're not making money, but they're also not working. And so that was like one of the things that our union really wanted. I mean, we would really like the flexibility of, like, say 1 month, if my mom's really sick, I would like to be able to drop to 0 so I could, take care of her. But we still have a hard 40. Yeah, we have to work 40 hours, which is like 1 overnight a week. But so anyway, so she says now they're not allowed to drop to 0 anymore. And that's a big deal over there. I mean, I have a girlfriend that left America West and went to Southwest just so she could drop to 0 and be home with her kids all the time. And she was also doing turns with this girl. They're like friends and they're doing turns together. And now I'm like, you can't hold them because Donna's pretty senior. And she goes, no, we can't hold them. I'm like, wow. So big changes. She's really upset. And I said, is it Elliot doing this? Where's your union? And she said that the union kind of fell apart. The president has left and the vice president is going to leave too. So it's kind of big. There's some gossip, industry gossip.
it seems weird that they would let someone go to 0. I mean,
And they still keep
I understand like
their benefits.
having flexibility, but why would you have a flight attendant on that never flies? Or so.
Well, it's by month basis too. So it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I think ours, we have to work a third of our shifts. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there is a certain percentage that you can drop or trade or something like that, but there is also a limit to it.
Yeah.
No, you can only drop so many. You can do as many trades as you want, but it's because you still have to work so much.
Would you remember we had a guest on the show soon after the Olympics? That's a flight attendant for Southwest.
Yes.
And she would drop her whole schedule, and then she would pick up out of different bases. So she'd just fly around the country. She'd do Hawaii out of like Oakland or Phoenix, and then next time she'd do Chicago, and then out of Nashville. So there was, because you guys can't do that, right? I mean,
No.
you can't go pick a Miami trip, but she could just work wherever she wanted. So
Yeah.
that's
I think as long as you can get to where, as long as she can get to Oakland to work one of those Hawaiis, that's awesome.
yeah, she has to still get herself there.
Yeah. No, I wish we have in our new contract that just came out, we have the ability to pick up out of base, but not yet. It's not, everything's kind of timed in our contract. But I don't think it'll ever get to that because it has to go in base first, and then it'll be opened up to out of base. So I don't think that I need that. If it opens up to out of base, it's gonna be some kind of crap trip like Tucson. Sorry, Tucson. Tucson or El Paso.
Or Omaha.
Oh, I like Omaha.
People are nice that go to Omaha for the most part.
I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow night.
You're doing the United turns.
I'm doing United turns. I'm going to from
How many
Phoenix.
United hubs? Yeah, are you doing tomorrow? Is it 2 or 3?
Only 2.
That's still.
I'm going to Houston and back to Phoenix and up to San Francisco.
Well, I picked up tomorrow, long enough and on the area to work London, hoping that maybe either Lara was on it or Tomoko was working it, and Tomoko's on vacation and Lara's doing United flights. So
I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're going to be.
When I first saw your schedule, did I write you and say, are you interviewing or job shadowing a United flight? Because it was here to Houston and then back and then San Francisco. And I was like, how many hubs are you going to hit? I thought maybe go to Denver still or something
I was just
else,
missing Newark.
Yeah, well, you don't want to go there right now.
No one's missing Newark, yeah.
I'm going to ask our friend Patrick for a United shirt so I can wear it.
Tomorrow?
When we record. Yeah, tomorrow when I see him tomorrow.
Well, Lara, when you go to Richmond, do you consider that a trip, a vacation? Or how do you look at that?
I don't. I probably should because it's fun and I enjoy it. But it's not like a trip.
What about Monique, when you went to Chicago? What was that?
It was a trip. I think, because we still had a lot of downtime and like celebrating.
And we went.
Would you
President's
consider it a
Head, so-
vacation?
What was that?
Would you consider it a vacation?
No.
If you and Tawny were
No.
alone, then it would be vacation.
More so. And I feel like we've had this discussion before as well too, but I feel like a vacation is like parking your hiney on a beach. Like that's a vacation. A trip is like more of like a go kind of get stuff done, see new things kind of experience.
Well, that's funny that you should bring that up, Tyler, because next Tuesday, Sting is playing at the Red Rocks. And my concert-loving husband got on there and got tickets like months ago when they first opened up. So we have tickets to Sting next Tuesday in Denver, and I will have to drop a London to go to it. So we're in discussions right now because that London's worth a lot of money, and I don't have time in my schedule to pick up another one.
Are you going to sell it?
Yeah, we can sell them back, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Are you going to sell your London trip? Are you going to say, someone give me 200 and I will give you my London?
I could.
Or some favors.
200 hugs. I never even thought of that. I was talking about selling the Sting tickets.
So was that a trip or vacation for you? Because
See, that would have been a
an enjoyable
vacation
thing.
for me
Okay.
because it would have been fun.
But you're not going to lay on the beach, so Monique does not count that as a vacation.
No, her idea
not
of
a vacation.
vacation and my idea are different. It's okay.
Because when you do your big group trips, that's a vacation, right?
Oh, yeah.
See, Monique does not count those as vacations.
They sound like trips to me, which aren't bad. Trips are fun. But vacation is where you just don't do anything. It's like our friends from Chicago that did their trip and they tried to have as least amount of steps in a day. That's vacation.
That was so funny.
That was so clever. Yeah, I loved that idea.
Oh, it's great.
So, but Lara's trip to Cancun, that's vacation.
That would be a
Yeah,
vacation.
yeah.
Yes,
Vacation.
that's a vacation. Yeah,
That was vacation.
per my definitions.
I think
yes.
I think I'm more along Lara's because I feel like when I went with the boys to Asia for 2 weeks, that was a vacation.
You do feel like
Even
that?
though like it was, yeah, it wasn't just we did have some downtime, but it was seeing a lot of stuff and that's a vacation because you didn't have any like work stuff. It wasn't like it was still the world kind of put the world behind and because you can have like a work trip where you're kind of still doing stuff or it's like going up to see our parents. It's never felt like a trip. Like, you travel so much, but it's like you're traveling. But to me, an hour up there on a plane is no different than an hour in a car almost, like to see someone. It just happens to be in the air. So I'm just wondering how you classify those.
Good question.
Because I went to mom and dad's house, and I did nothing. That wouldn't be a vacation to me.
No, because you're not on a beach. They don't live on a beach.
It has to be a beach.
Or maybe like a cabin.
There's a lake
the woods.
there. It's called
Yeah, a body
Salt
of
Lake.
water. A body of water is required.
Like the Great Salt Lake.
That's so gross. That's not. Yeah.
All right. Should we close it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think I think you should like not edit it at all. Just stick it out there.
Well,
Yeah.
Monique said some pretty dumb stuff. And
What?
so
It's not nice.
I'll do very little because I'm putting. So if you're hearing this, this recorded a few hours ago. I will do some editing but not much.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
Mom.
fresh.
What should our background be? If people are watching, what should the background be? Monique's Beach or
Or
Chicago?
Chicago. Do Chicago. Do you need me to send you some pictures real quick?
Like a good background one or of you, of people, or just like the city or the lake.
I mean, I could send you all kinds of pictures. I'll do it.
Well,
I'll,
send me some, but I'm not gonna take too much time because I want to get it up because we're already late. So sorry.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
But you can post them on social media. So go check out Monique's pictures of her trip and see Zach's graduation stuff on there.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations,
we're already
Zachy.
so delayed. I don't want to
Yeah,
put
Zach.
too much time. Yeah. Congratulations to him. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I was sick of Europe, but I after seeing all this Catholic and Leo stuff, kind of want to go to Rome now and see where all this is happening.
I already
So-
asked Tanya the day that they announced him as the Pope. I said, "Do you want to go to the Vatican?" And she was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But it doesn't take much to tempt me.
I will.
It's been interesting to watch and see.
And I would just want to put out there when we first started doing the London trips from Phoenix to London prior to COVID, and I was working the door. I was standing there when I first got on. I was doing my safety checks, and there was a silver placard right by the front door that said that this airplane was the one that our airline used to take Pope John Paul around America, and it was renamed Shepherd One. I still have that picture of that plaque, so I'll have to look through and find it. But I thought, oh my gosh, I saw that. I was on the plane. I worked that flight. In fact, I worked that plane several times.
Have you sat in that seat that he was in?
I don't even know what seat he was at.
You should have sit
'Cause he
on all of
wasn't
them
a
then,
jump
and then
Then I had it covered.
yeah, greatest Pope in the world. That's the Jim Gaffigan joke.
That's funny.
Thanks to everyone who supports our show. We really appreciate it. And hearing from everybody. Sorry this is delayed.
If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us at the Non-Rev Lounge podcast at gmail.com. And everyone stay safe.
It was great flying with you.
It was great flying with you. Oh,
Bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye.
This has been Non-Rev Lounge. This episode was sponsored by Staff Traveler, which is the #1 app to get your non-rev loads. It is used by over 800,000 people from all airlines the world over and built to make your non-rev trips easy and stress-free. Sign up now for free at stafftraveler.com/non-rev lounge.
First, is it
Somebody.
Lara? Is your shirt supposed to be a little off-centered, or is that just how they printed it?
It's just how they printed it. I think it's supposed to just cover one breast. One boob.
Oh, I don't know. People must have giant boobs then.
You think it would be, if they did that, it would be a little smaller to be like, like not
Hey!
just like off center. No, not you, the shirt. I have one that thing's lower too, so I can't talk.
It's very common. Very, very common.
Very, very common.